Okay, so Mr. Ham, you are running for Jackson County Sheriff this year, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And so for those who may not know you, can you just go ahead and introduce yourself and talk a little bit about your background and your career?
Like I said, my name is Tim Ham. I'm a Democratic candidate for Jackson County Sheriff. I'm a resident of Jackson County. I grew up and raised in Malone, Florida. I graduated from Malone High School. I earned my AA degree from Chipola Junior College in Marianna, Florida. I received my bachelor's degree from Troy State University with a minor in psychology and sociology. My law enforcement training, I acquired it at the Pat Thomas Law Enforcement Academy in Havana, Florida. I'm married to my wife, Jennifer. We've been married for 20 years. We have one daughter, Audrey, who attends Marianna High School. And we have one son named Riley, who will be attending the new Marianna K-8 school. While growing up and attending school, I worked with my father, Ed Ham, at Ham Peanut Company and on the family farm. And that's where the value of a hard day's work was instilled in me at an early age. We spent many days on the farm working, late hours, early mornings. I still work on the farm with my father and my brother to this day. I have over 21 years of law enforcement experience as a public servant to the people with administrative duties. My career to a law enforcement path began whenever I was employed with the Florida Department of Law Enforcement in Tallahassee, Florida. While I was employed with FDLE, I went to the Law Enforcement Academy and I worked the midnight shift at FDLE. I also worked for the United States Department of Justice, the Federal Bureau of Prisons, and I also worked at the Jackson County Sheriff's Office. While I worked at the Sheriff's Office, I worked as a road deputy, a bailiff, and I was also an investigator with the Jackson County Drug Task Force. While I was employed at the Sheriff's Office, I obtained the rank of sergeant in patrol and was a shift supervisor. Currently, I'm employed with the Jackson County Board of County Commissioners as a probation office supervisor, and that's where I've been for the last 12 years.
Okay, so what made you decide to run for Jackson County Sheriff this year?
Why am I running? Jackson County is my home. It's where I was raised. It's where I'm raising my family. I want to try and make sure that I can make it a little safer for my family as well as your family and for all the people that come to visit Jackson County. I've been involved in this line of work in one way or another for the last 21 years. It's something I enjoy. I just want to try and make our communities a little safer for the next generation to enjoy.
What would be your top 3 to 5 priorities should you get elected?
Top 3, probably regain the trust of the citizens in the communities. I think that's very important. Combat the drugs in our communities. Employ and retain a well-trained staff. I think those are the top things that I would like to work on.
And how will you go about regaining the trust from the community?
You got to get out, get involved in the community, be seen in the community, get to know the people in the community. Let them know that you're there to help them. Let them know that you're there for them. Law enforcement's got a black eye here lately. Not all police officers, law enforcement is bad. There are some bad apples, but not all of them are bad. We're here to help. And I want people to understand that we're here to help. We're not here to cause harm or do damage or take away, kids from their families or break up homes or marriages or anything. We're here to help. If you need us, you call us. We're here for you.
Do you have any plans to change and or improve officer training for, say, new officers or even officers who just want to learn a new skill or anything like that?
Sure. I have no problem with anybody that wants to learn a new skill, anybody that wants to further advance their training. I'm all for that. I think everybody needs to advance their training. If there's a class that comes up and somebody wants to take it, if it's feasible to where in the budget we can afford it, we can send them, and I'd like to send as many as we can. So yes, I'm all for somebody taking the training, getting the education, learning more about their position, more about their job, so they can do a better job for the community and for the citizens.
Is field training something that is feasible for newer officers to implement?
I think it's a good program. It gives the young officers coming in a chance to be with a seasoned officer so that they can, kind of get a feel for how things are done and see what's expected of them. And if they've got questions, they've got somebody there that can answer it for them. I know whenever I come on, I had a lot of questions. We didn't have a field training program at the time, but we had other officers that we could call, and they were, very helpful. So that is needed. I had a lot of questions. So, and I know they do too. So yes, I believe the FTO program, it's a great program.
And how do you plan to address drugs in Jackson County?
I would like to strengthen our relationship with different law enforcement agencies within our county to build upon our drug task force. Maybe each agency within our county can dedicate at least one officer to work within the task force, and this will help with the manpower needed to combat the illegal drugs that flow into our county. We also need to establish a good working relationship with our neighboring counties and their sheriffs and police departments as well. We all need to have a good working relationship, more like a partnership, basically, so that we can help each other combat the drug issues in our communities. Drug dealers pay no attention to the county or state lines, so I feel that we also need to work together to assist each other in our neighboring states. Also, by working at the probation office, I get to be in court a lot, and I see the need for the treatment side as well. A lot of individuals get hooked on drugs, and jail's not necessarily where they need to be. So we have an opportunity to help them get into treatment so that they can overcome the addiction of the drugs and alcohol. And maybe we can help break the cycle that would keep them in the system had they not been afforded the benefits of going to treatment. When loved ones get hooked on drugs and get in the system, it's hard on the families, physically, mentally, financially. It's not always about putting someone in jail. If we can help that individual, then that's what we're going to do.
Would you like to see any changes made to the structure of the department regarding budgets or personnel or anything like that, policy?
As far as the structure, I would like to work on strengthening our number of deputies on patrol. The patrol division is a very important part of the structure of the sheriff's office because they are the first ones on scene. They're the first line of defense. And if I can help to strengthen that and improve their safety, then I'm all for that. I think that maybe moving around some administrative positions as well is something that I would look at. I feel that one person's talents and abilities may be better suited in another position than in its current position. So those are some of the things that I would like to see change.
Do you have any thoughts on updating any policies just regarding all the talk nationally about police reform and use of force and things like that?
I think we need to look at our policy and procedure. It needs to be clear as to what is expected of each officer. So that'd be something that, yes, we need to look at and make sure they have a clear understanding is what is expected of them. They need to know that.
And how would you make sure that all staff, all deputies remain accountable to the community?
Hopefully you have the right supervisors in place. Right now, they're shorthanded. Your supervisors are having to work a shift. By that supervisor working a shift, he can't sit there and listen to the radio or observe the CAD system and monitor his shift like he needs to or she needs to. So, I think we need to put the right people in the right positions, and that's where I was talking about moving some people around that maybe they could be better suited in different positions. But I think, with the right supervisors that are sitting there listening to these calls and they're listening to these officers, they can pick up on the things that they need to, and those issues can be addressed.
Okay, well, I think that's all I have. Is there anything that you'd like to add?
I would just like to say that I'm not a politician, so I don't have all the political correct answers that people may be looking for. I can just give you real answers. I make no promises other than I'll work diligently to protect you and your family as if you were my own family. Jackson County is my home. I love it here. I want to make it a little safer for us all to enjoy. If you elect me, Tim Ham, as your next sheriff, I'll do just that. And I want to thank all the people for any consideration they can give me. I appreciate it. Thank you for your time. And just remember that together we can build better communities.
Mr. Ham, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you, Mia.